Stewart Lancaster has announced his squad for the QBE Autumn Internationals. There weren't too many changes, some injuries forced those. We'll examine it all. And these are the forwards. Just one change from the one he announced right at the start of the season, with Tom Johnson coming in for Tom Croft. And the backs, a few more enforced changes there because of the crisis, possible crisis. We'll analyse that in a minute in the midfield. So those are the 34 players that he's selected to take on Australia, Argentina and New Zealand. We've got the team up on the board. Lawrence, Austin, you've been examining this. Austin, let's start with the back, because that's where most of the movement has been from the squad he announced right at the start of the season. Yeah,
obviously ravished by injuries, and I think if we look at the midfield, it's the positions that people have been speaking about most in the press. 12 trees for me. I think he's banged into the 12th position now. He has the authority and he can control and help Farrell at 10. Likewise, I believe Farrell will be picked at 10. But this is the big problem. Who is going to be playing at 13? Is it going to be Tompkins? Is it going to be Trinder? Or is it going to be, where is my friend Burrell? I can't see him. There he is. These three guys all have different qualities. Let's take a look at them all in action. Trinder, for me, the best left foot step in the league. He's mercurial, he can make something out of nothing. He gives you a bit of an X factor in that 13 channel. As we see, he scores tries as well. Scored a lot for Gloucester this season in a side that's not been notorious for going forward that well. He's really strong at the breakdown, but can he handle the vigours of the defence in the midfield? This guy certainly can going forward. Burrell carries the ball really well. He'll give you a gain line go forward. He'll give you 5-6 yards when you need it most against Argentina, against Australia, against New Zealand. But defensively, missed a lot of tackles. For me, this is the guy that is going to take the 13 shirt, Tompkins. He's been out for a while, but at full fitness, he's the best offloader in the league. He makes good decisions, he reads overlaps really well, as we see with this try. And defensively, he has the physicality that he gained from league. He gets the 13 shirt for me, with maybe Burrell on the bench. Maybe Trinder, you want some X-factor, tough decisions. Back three is another conversation as well. Yard, definitely in the team. But because Yard's in the team, it almost means you can't pick Wade at the same time, because you're going to need some experience against these three sides. So Yard comes in. On the right wing then, you pick Ashton. Had Stretler been in the squad? He's not in the squad. I would have gone for Stretler personally. I just think he's playing a bit better than Ashton at the minute. And then you've got decisions at fullback. Foden has that X factor again, a little bit of spark. But we saw Brown at the weekend playing so well. His stats were amazing. He's abrasive. That's a big decision. Brown's been dropped already, so he's out. But that's a big decision for Stewart Lancaster, as is scrum half. Now, if you believe all the rumours that are going round, then my friend Youngs is in the driving seat at the minute. He doesn't look fit to me. You know, he won't like us saying that, but he doesn't look fit. And I'd pick Kerr. He looks energetic. Around the breakdown, he goes through the middle, and I'd have Dixon on the bench, whose high-tempo game can really be a contrast for Stewart Lancaster.
Dixon would certainly be the form player, wouldn't he, to sit on the bench. As you say, he's going to bring that pace into it. A lot of options in the backs. The forwards, Lawrence, a little bit more clear-cut.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is a fantastic pack. This pack, minus Bunny Vunipola, bring Morgan in, was the pack that actually started against New Zealand in the autumn so spectacularly. So for me, you start with the front row. Corbiziero's picked up an injury, could be out for 2 or 3 weeks. If he's unable to make it, then you've got a wonderful replacement in Maka Vunipola. But he is so dynamic off the bench, it'd be great to see him fit. Tom Youngs, for me, starts over Dylan Hartley. But again, what an impact player Hartley is. Ever reliable Cole, the Lion. This is where the selection gets interesting. Launchbury, I think, has been Mr. Consistent. Wonderful season last year. Young Player of the Year. Will he pick him? He's been in great form for a Wasps team that have been a little bit in and out of form. Parling is obviously there to call the line-outs. And I think he's got an option of... I think that's the team he'll start with. He's got the option of bringing Laws, who's back on form. The big talking point is around the back row. I think Vunipola starts for me. Sam Dickinson was an option to bring in, but instead he's brought in Johnson. Interestingly, he hasn't named a captain yet, so there's going to be some selections. And he's brought in Johnson, if I can find him. Here he is. We just run a bit of a little clip on Johnson from Exeter. He's been playing very, very well for the Chiefs. He's got that ability to play, obviously on the blind side, but also packs down at number 8 at scrum time. And I think it's one of those options that he might look to use throughout the autumn, and perhaps move Vunipola to 6 and just use him as a second wave runner. So some fascinating options from scrum time. I personally think this is the pack that he'll start with. He'll bring Vunipola in. The big decision for me is, does he name Wood as captain, Or does he name Rob Shaw as captain?
Strange one, isn't it? Going for Johnson. Very much like for like with Rob Shaw. Not big ball carriers, but very effective hard workers. Kvesic is a good scrapper on the floor. Maybe does he come in as well?
He's out of form, Kvesic, because he's playing in a Gloucester type 5 that's going backwards. That's the only problem.
Do you think we're going to see a situation where we're going to see 1, 2, maybe 3 players throughout these autumn internationals named as captain as he juggles with his back row and decides what's the best mix, but also what's the best mix as
Well,
skipper?
it's 3 very hard test matches. We've got Australia first up, we've got Argentina second, then obviously the All Blacks third. Very unusual that you have the same starting team in all 3 games. I do believe this is the pack that starts, and if it is this, then he's really put himself in a bit of a hole by he's got to name Rob Shaw as his captain. Although maybe for the second or third game, he may take a rest and look at Wood as a leader. So it's some fascinating decisions.
He owes him a game, doesn't he? He said, have the summer off, get fit, come back. We've got the autumn internationals. That's a big, big decision now. Come back to a little bit of form, made a lot of tackles at the weekend, but is he in the type of form that can carry this England side to 3 wins in the autumn?
What we've seen in the Premiership is the importance of a strong bench, and certainly what's heartening for as an England fan, but also for Stewart Lancaster primarily, is you look at whatever the starting 15 is going to be, he's going to have a strong bench as well, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. If we go through the backs first, I'd put Dixon on the bench because he might want to up the tempo, especially against Argentina early on. Then the decision between Burns and Flood, you're probably going to go with Burns. If you want Maverick and you're going to come against Australia or New Zealand and you have to have someone who turns the game and changes the style, go with that. And then it's anyone, really. Depends if Brown's in the starting lineup. If he's not in the starting lineup, he's definitely on the bench because he's so effective.